Somebody wants to know, and I know you've talked about this regularly, somewhat on Fox News, which you're a very patient man. But what is your stance on RussiaGate? What is your take on that, and what is your take on the United States eventually having a more friendly relationship with Russia?
Well, first of all, we want to protect our elections from attacks from without and also from attacks from within. I'm remain concerned about voting machines. I personally believe that we ought to have paper ballots. I think there's more accountability with paper ballots. We can.
Do you support Tulsi Gabbard's initiative for that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have to do everything we can to protect the integrity of our elections. We started out with paper ballots. It doesn't mean you can't have problems there, but there's less of a concern of an entire election being manipulated electronically. But let's get to Russia. There are people inside our government who just want to divide Americans and want to start a new Cold War, want to demonize Russia. I believe that we need to try to find a way to work together. And I worked for 16 years in Congress to try to build relations between Russia and the United States. I started a Russia caucus so that we could have parliamentary exchanges with members of the Duma. I've been to Russia many times. Are there differences between Russia and U.S. policy? Of course there are. We're mindful of that. But we also need to be mindful that the aspirations of the Russian people, the people themselves, for jobs, for a roof over their head, for care for their children, education for their children, are the same as our aspirations. And we need to remember that. And we need to not put a gun on the table every time we have a difference with Russia. Did the Russian government try to manipulate the U.S. election? I think the jury is way out on that. I don't know. I don't know that happened. Did people who are Russian nationals attempt to meddle in one way or another? It appears there's some evidence to that. But let's face it, that the relationship between the U.S. and Russia is so important that we need to repair it and rebuild it in the interest of world peace and the interest of prosperity. I don't want to see the U.S. have another arms buildup. I don't want to see the U.S. Enter into another Cold War. I don't want to see the children of this country ever have to worry about whether there's going to be a missile attack from Russia. We cannot go back to those days. And so we need to step away from the hysteria which is being created, regularize our relations, and stop the fulminations of the Cold Warriors, and wherever there's differences, we need to iron them out. But we cannot continue to beat the drums for destruction of another government.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.